You didn't fall for who they were. You fell for who they were about to become. The version who'd finally call back on time. The version who'd finally follow through. The version who existed just one step ahead of the person actually standing in front of you, always almost arriving, never quite here. Here's the part that should unsettle you immediately. Researchers Zakari Tormala, Jayanti Chandran, and colleagues ran a series of studies asking people to evaluate others based on either proven achievement or unproven potential. The unproven potential consistently won. Not sometimes. Across multiple experiments, people rated a promising but unproven candidate as more exciting, more impressive, and more worth betting on than someone who had already delivered the exact same result. Potential didn't just compete with proof. In these studies, it beat it. That should stop you cold, because it means your brain isn't a neutral judge weighing evidence. Given a choice between someone who has already shown you who they are and someone who might still become something more, it appears wired to prefer the maybe. Why would that be true? The researchers propose a specific mechanism. Uncertainty keeps your mind actively working. A finished achievement is a closed case, fully processed and filed away. Potential is an open question your brain can't stop turning over, generating possibility after possibility, each one a little more compelling than settled fact. The unresolved simply occupies more of your attention than the resolved does, and attention, uncomfortably, gets mistaken for attraction. This reframes something that quietly wrecks a lot of relationships. Loving someone's potential was never really about them. It was about the fact that your brain hadn't finished evaluating them yet, and unfinished evaluation feels a lot like electricity. Here's where it gets stranger, and where most people never look. Psychologist Sandra Murray's research on relationships found that some idealization of a partner isn't necessarily harmful. In fact, seeing a partner in a slightly rosier light than pure objectivity would allow is linked to higher relationship satisfaction in her studies. But Murray's research draws a meaningful line. This works when the idealization stays tethered to who the person actually is and how they actually treat you. It stops working and starts corroding trust and self-esteem when the story becomes almost entirely about a future version of them that consistently fails to arrive. The difference isn't idealization itself. It's whether the gap between the story and the evidence keeps closing or keeps growing. Here's a question worth sitting with. If unproven potential is inherently more compelling to your brain than proven results, how would you ever be able to tell the difference, in the moment, between real hope and a cognitive bias, quietly running the show? You mostly can't, not from the inside, not while it's happening. The bias isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just quietly keeps directing your attention toward the future instead of the present, and calls that direction love. But there is one thing that cuts through it, and it's almost embarrassingly simple: time and a track record measured honestly against it. Potential that's real tends to convert into proof eventually. Potential that isn't real just keeps generating more potential, indefinitely, forever, one step ahead of arrival, forever asking for a little more patience. So the next time you catch yourself defending someone by pointing at who they could become, you don't have to distrust the hope entirely, and you don't have to abandon it either. You can ask one honest question instead. Has the gap between their potential and their actual behavior gotten smaller this year, or has it simply moved further away, at exactly the same speed you've been chasing it? You weren't in love with a person. You were in love with a question your brain refused to stop asking, and mistook the asking for the answer.